got our Trevor Lawrence wigs on, as promised.
Duval!
And I'll say it for the 15th time, second time this podcast. The Chiefs are going to be frightening when they get everybody back on offense. If I'm the Chargers, if I'm Harbaugh, I walk upstairs and I'm like, we need to make this move so they don't make this move.
Yeah.
We need to protect the world at large for a young offensive line, not just Will Campbell. They played really well. Fellas, a little bit of light reading from Front Office Sports. Jets say execs tried to sink team president in bumbling conspiracy. The Jets say they uncovered a disturbing conspiracy inside their own front office, accusing a fired executive of helping stage false sexual harassment claims against the team president by Ben Horney.
No.
I swear, dude.
No.
Yeah. I swear. Writer named Ben Horney.
Yeah, guys, I got this one.
Ben Horney.
Ben Horney.
Is that wild?
That is crazy.
I'm seeing these. Couldn't they put somebody else on writing the story about false sexual harassment claims? We can laugh because they were false claims.
Right. Thank
Right.
God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ben Horney.
Ben Horney.
Ben Horney.
I wonder what his high school what it was like in high school.
Oh, in high school, the shit was hell for him.
Had to be.
It's hell
Had
for
to
him.
be.
It was hell for Ben Horney in high
Is
school.
Mr. Horny here?
Can we look
Is Mr. Horny here?
Ben Horney? I want to see what he looks like.
Remember when Joe Dirt did like the Joe Dirte? Maybe he did like a Hornet or
I
something.
feel bad. I feel bad. He's a perfectly normal guy.
Could have gone Benjamin.
Anyways, the Jets play the Broncos in Europe this weekend. That's where we start our Sunday. Before we get into the meat of the show, we got our Trevor Lawrence wigs on, as promised.
Duval!
I told Nate, I said, I was pretty adamant about the Chiefs winning that game,
Yeah.
and then they didn't, and we never got to agree to terms on a bet.
Yeah.
So this is my volunteer punishment, but he seems happy just to have it on.
Nate,
Yes.
I had not yet watched every snap of a Jaguars game, and
You're missing out.
that the quarterback doesn't see the field. Are you aware of this?
No, yes, and that's why I'm excited about my team. We do not see the field, but what's our record?
Imagine if
Exactly.
And what he's trying to say is, imagine if we started seeing the field.
Right.
Exactly.
Be a
Likes to
problem.
take off pretty quickly.
Defense,
Hey, you know what? I'm not
you know
gonna
what
be-
the
I'm
saying-
not gonna
you know what
be
the
that
saying
guy.
is, though?
Huh?
The saying is that defense wins championships. And guess what? We're getting 3 takeaways a game almost, a pop.
Yeah.
We didn't get 3 takeaways last game. You know what we did? We fucking traded for somebody. We traded. We are
Traitors.
we are trying to win the AFC South on top of just winning everything in the AFC. We have high hopes in Jacksonville this year, and I love the way they're going about things. And this is a great start, but we just got to keep it going.
Much like this show, great start. Got to keep it going, guys.
Yeah.
So
Hell
we
yeah.
will keep it going. We'll talk about
Or
Jacksonville.
we will regress to the mean,
Yep.
like the Jacksonville.
Or the turnover
defense
luck
likely
stops.
will.
No, I think honestly, we'll get there. We'll talk about the Jags.
We'll
a little
get
bit.
there.
We'll get there.
Let's talk
The
about
first
the
game,
Jags.
we'll get there in one game, but we are starting off because the day starts,
At Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
which is where I play my home Madden games online.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I play with the Broncos right now. I'm pretty.
You sent me a
fucking
screenshot
unbeatable.
of Bo Nix's stat line.
Bo
last
Nix
night.
at the half was 2 for 2 for 153 and 2 touchdowns, and we had 21 points.
See, that's not. You need to up the. You can't. That's not.
Dog, I'm playing at elite level. I'm playing elite players.
Two
Not-
for
not
2 for
LeBron.
153
We hit them. We middle field open, play action, post, Cortland Sutton,
twice.
bye, and then we hit the seam with Ingram for a touchdown.
That's not realistic. Evan Ingram.
Hey, Evan Ingram drive happened last week. Just be ready. Be ready. The Jets need to be ready. The Broncos, man, that was a big win for them. We've talked about it at length. People thinking they can't beat good teams because of last year, the way a lot of those games ended up. And the Eagles certainly qualify as a good team. And they end up winning that game last week. They drive the Peter Schrager's like, hey, per me, they drove the buses back through they almost drove the buses back through the city, and they were like, oh, let's go to the airport. They played Meek Mill in the locker room. They're smoking cigars. Sean Payton is a confident dude. Like, that's the one thing you realize. Like, if you play a Sean Payton team, the team takes on his personality. Like, when we used to go down and play the Saints, like, they just had some shit to them. They had a confidence about them. They had, like, a moxie. And that's what this team kind of has. And to get this win under their belt, like, that's where confidence becomes real. I mean, like, once you say, okay, like, we've cashed in on this stuff. We played a bunch of close games, lost close games to good teams. We just beat a team that hadn't lost a regular game while the quarterback finished it in, like, 370 days. So that was a big deal for them. So I'm not going to go into overanalyzing the Broncos scheme or what they need to do to beat the Jets. Like, the way the Jets are playing right now, you just kind of have to show up. And that's not to say they're not doing some things right. Like, I went back and watched the Jets game last week, which I'm sure some of y'all caught that game in real time. It's 10-3, and they're driving to tie the game and moving the ball well. Like, they went on an 8-minute drive to start the game off, and Breece Hall fumbles, and they give up 2 touchdowns in like 2 minutes at the end of the half. An explosive pass, a 66-yard run. It's just like this team, the Jets team, if this Aaron Glenn team was going to be successful, it was going to take complimentary football.
Yeah.
So they're not playing complimentary football. It puts the quarterback in a bad spot, and I feel for him because he's not playing bad football. What they're asking him to do is to dink and dunk down the field. And I look at the team and I'm saying to myself, like, even if you played better defensively, because they're playing horribly defensively, the offensive procedural penalties are going to kill this team, and they already are. They're 0-5. There was barely a drive on Sunday where they didn't give up a sack. I mean, they made Dallas's D-line look like the fearsome foursome dude. Mm-hmm. Tippmann was terrible. The tackles weren't great. So they really need to get right in this game and play better and just stop the procedural penalties. Like, just stop doing the shit that kills you, because they're bad enough as it is. And if they play a game in phase, they can win a game. But the Broncos are going to be a tough test.
In non-garbage time, the Jets rank 11th in offensive success rate, but they're 26th in EPA per play this season. That is attributed to the 5 fumbles they've lost. That's a minus 25.5 EPA.
It's terrible.
Fourth in the league.
Your guy, Aaron Glenn, you brought up the cutting people for fumbles thing. Well, they're almost certainly going to trade Breece Hall. And that's one thing we got to talk about as we go through this slate on the heels of a couple trades going through this week. And we see that, like, hey, they traded Greg Newsome last night during the baseball game.
Yep.
Fuck you, MLB. We're doing trades like in the middle of the Phillies game. This is going to pick up. I think Breece Hall is one of those guys. Like, if you look at each team like a yard sale, that's kind of going to be the theme. I want the Texans to go get Breece Hall. Like, that to me is a fun one. I think that would be a great pickup for them. They're hurting, waiting for Joe Mixon to get back. The offense is rounding into form a little bit. Screen game, run game. A guy who can go get you an explosive out of the backfield. Like, they don't really have that now. And I like Woody Marks. Name my fantasy football team after him.
League
but
leading
Breece can take it to the house, dude.
Team.
Are we number 1?
You're in first place.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. I'm no pervert, though. I don't pay attention to that stuff. So, yeah, the Jets just, like, I feel for Aaron Glenn because he's not the offensive football coach. But at the end of the day, he is responsible for the culture. And the culture right now consists of committing penalties.
It's funny you said they're not playing complimentary football, but if you look at it in a negative way, they kind of are, in the sense that they're giving the ball away and they're not getting any takeaways. They have 0 takeaways, and to be a defensive coach, I know that has to eat you up inside, because that's the formula to win, especially for a struggling team. For the easiest way for you to get a win is to generate turnovers and takeaways and giving your offense extra possessions, and the Jets aren't doing that.
That's a great point. And then to add on to what we were talking about earlier, you're not getting takeaways. 8 penalties a game last year, over 8 penalties a game this year. Even
the definition of losing football,
right? And even when they don't commit the penalties, they got down there on like the 3-yard line last week, and it's 1st and goal or 2nd and goal, and they lose 4 because they just don't block Solomon Thomas. Okay, we're not going to talk about the Jets all day. But Jets fans, I also think Jermaine Johnson being on his 5th-year option, I had Nolan put me together a list of some guys that might be trade candidates this year, and Jermaine Johnson, who's been a good player in this league, for the Jets, edge rusher. There are some teams who could use edge rushers that are probably they have their eyes on like some big targets. Like I'm sure somebody's going to kick the tires on Max Crosby at some point here. Having a newer GM there, where it's like, okay, well, you know this, but maybe you can't get a Max Crosby.
Yeah.
Or Jermaine Johnson. You know, can I interest you in a Jermaine Johnson, a very productive edge player who probably isn't going to. It's not going to take selling the farm to get him. For like a San Francisco or a Philly. Any other destinations you could see? Any of these pieces, Nolan, that you're looking at and saying, hey, I see a good marriage somewhere for one of these guys?
I mean, one other name from the Jets that I think teams might be calling about is Michael Carter. He's been a little banged up this year. Was banged up last year, but he got that big deal after a great 2023 season. He's a good slot corner for them. He hasn't played up to that level that he did in 2023, but any team looking for a starting slot corner, you know, you look around, Eagles could be.
Oh man, I was just about to say,
you know, like that makes a ton of sense, right? 49ers, just like you mentioned them with Jermaine Johnson, they could benefit from being able to give Upton Stout some more time. The Vikings might look to add a corner. Maybe even the Chiefs.
The Chiefs. We're going to go through this thing with the Kansas City Chiefs and the fact that Noel Williams got like 4 snaps last week. And they had Connor playing the slot. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I think Carter's the other one. I think Jermaine Johnson, Michael Carter, obviously not contract year guys, but similar to like what we saw with, you know, until last night, nobody probably thought Tyson Campbell would have gotten moved. But when you have a new GM, you know, new GM comes in, nobody on the roster is necessarily their guy.
Yep.
So anytime you have a new GM in play, teams can call about anybody.
This football season, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at first touchdown scorers. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you get your stake back in cash if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. Be sure to take advantage of this offer, and if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code GREENLIGHT, and you will get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. BetMGM, make it legendary. Seattle, Jacksonville, because this is when the 1 p.m. start. This is the best game of the slate, 1 p.m. I think this slate's kind of boo-boo, but we get a fantastic Sunday night game. This is going to be a good football game, Seattle at Jacksonville. Starting with the trade, you end up with Jags, Greg Newsome, and a sixth, a 2026 sixth from the Jets. And then the Browns, they get Tyson Campbell, and the Eagles 2026 seventh. So basically what it is, and I think now as you read the takes on this thing, there's a lot of like discrepancy as to who won the trade, who lost the trade. I think the Jags woke up Tuesday morning and said, hey, we're pretty fucking good, aren't we? We just beat the Chiefs at home. And I know the Chiefs are what, 2-3? Yeah. But they didn't. That offense isn't like a 2-3 football team, and so like you play them, you see some things about your group. You've seen some things about your group over the first month of the season, and a young GM in Jacksonville is saying, "Hey, we're gonna go for not going for broke, but we're trying to win this year.
Yep.
When we can beat the Kansas City Chiefs at home, we think we're good, and so like let's go get." A better player in Newsome. I'm not saying Tyson Campbell's not a good player, but you also get Tyson Campbell off your books eventually. And what you get in Greg Newsome, because Cleveland, he's playing on a 5th-year option, I believe, is you can make a decision at the end of the season what you want to do with him. You make this 1-year run. If he plays great for you, you want to pay him, great, pay him. You want to franchise him, great, franchise him. The way the Browns were looking at it, I would think, is you're on your 5th-year option. You're making $13 million a year or so. You're going to have to tag him or sign him to a long-year deal. And to tag corners right now, it's going to be the low 20s, man. Like next year, it might be 22. And so what you get in Newsome for Jacksonville is you get a guy with a little bit of flexibility. He's played slot. He's played outside. He can man up more, which is something that Nolan was talking about. He's a very good man corner. And again, I don't think Jacksonville is going to go play more man because they have him like across the board, but there might be some situations that you feel more comfortable doing it because you have a guy who can do it at a higher level. And so, the one thing I don't understand about this is how much of this bill the Jags are going to pay next year? Is it like 17 mil, Noel?
Yeah, so what happens is anytime you trade away a player, you're also trading away, like you don't owe them the money that hasn't yet that they haven't yet earned. So like say like base salary, for instance, but any of the money you've already paid them, the cap hits you incurred from that money you've paid them are going to be dead cap hits for you. So for this season, they'll have 6.7 million in cap in dead cap charge from trading away Campbell, and then next year, all those cap charges that they had kind of loaded in the back years of his deal accelerate to 2026. So they'll actually carry a $19.5 million dead cap charge next year, which is a pretty good chunk of change. But what it does is frees up space in 26 or 27, 28 for some potential extensions they could be looking to do.
Yep. And one of the extensions that they might be looking to do isn't it Devin Lloyd? Although Devin Lloyd might just get paid now.
They got to pay him now. Pay the man.
The guy made, after you make that play, it's like,
yeah.
I mean,
like, why not? Like, don't like, why not? Let's keep him happy.
So this is a big trade. I mean, what it signals is that, you know, Jacksonville thinks they're really good, and this is a win now move. And you know, Cleveland had to make a decision between, you know, are we going to pay Emerson or are we going to pay Newsome? And I would think Emerson would be a little cheaper. Yeah, you know, coming off of the injury that he's coming off of. So
think about Newsome too, like on a different level. Yeah, Newsome leaving a 1-4 team right before it's about to start getting fucking cold. So you go from preparing for the cold to it's not going to get cold in Jacksonville. And then on a different level,
worst plane ride.
Bro, and then on a different level, you go from a state with high state tax to a state with no state tax. So your check is a lot fatter.
So best flight. Worst flight
is Campbell.
Is Tyson Campbell. Where
complete opposite, going from 4-1 to 1-4 to a culture. And it's just like a culture. It's going to be a culture shock.
But I mean, more than anything, you've lived through like the bullshit in Jacksonville,
and exactly.
And things are turning around, and now it's not quite to the degree of like a Kenny Clark.
Yeah.
But now he's on a competitive team, which I guess we didn't see coming. But like Tyson Campbell being like, man, we just beat the fucking Chiefs and we're out of here.
I seen a video of it.
I know it's a new scheme and everything, but I do think this move is more about Newsome than it is about Campbell. Yeah. And so he's all of a sudden waking up in the morning. He's gonna have to, you know, hit his auto start on his fucking car. He's not going to want to get out and pump his gas. It's going to be so fucking cold in Cleveland.
I see the fans say they bought a Tyson Campbell jersey on Monday.
I know, I saw that.
And then woke up on whatever.
Those are cool, though.
Traded. Yeah, it is. Like, I mean,
cool.
you got the last
one,
Tyson
dude.
Campbell jersey.
You went viral, bro.
He went to Georgia too, which is basically Jacksonville.
Yep.
It's tough.
That's a tough deal.
Tough.
You know, you basically, you got tickets. Well, you spend less money on tickets maybe now. So another thing is, like, I think Cleveland's going to be good in the next couple of years.
I do too.
I do. They're just
their defense. He's going to an amazing defense.
Yeah.
But that team as a whole is just like, you don't know what's going on. But hopefully he can go there with the mindset, hey, maybe I'll be the missing puzzle piece to help out even more. But that is a tough pill to swallow in season. And then just Jacksonville, the way it's going there, and then after that win, just having that feeling and being like, hey, this might be our year, and then boom, hey, you're going to Cleveland.
No, it's a tough deal.
Yeah.
It's the NFL business. And so, you know, on the field, I would look at it like this. Seattle's secondary health. When the Jags have the ball, that's the key to the whole thing. Nolan, can we get an injury update as of Thursday?
Yeah, it's a lengthy injury list. Witherspoon, Julian Love did not practice, and then Nicky Manwari, D-back for them, second-round rookie, actually got 39 snaps last week, played pretty well. He was limited with an injury as well, so they're a little banged up there.
That's a tough group to be banged up going into a game against. You know, they're watching the same tape that we saw Monday night. They're watching what they did late in that game to Kansas City. I mean, the pass rush is here's going to be an interesting one. The pass rush against Jacksonville's offensive line, who has played pretty well.
Yep.
You know, I'll be curious to see, and I believe are the Seahawks still down Lawrence?
Yeah, he was all Tank Lawrence and Derek Hall were also
Not
out of
good, man.
practice.
It puts a lot of pressure on guys like Boye Mafe to make a lot of plays. But they've got a couple edges out there, and one guy I want to talk about is Byron Murphy. I really like his tape. I know we talked about him last year. He was a stud last year. You could see it, but he plays with fantastic technique. It's like he's working a leverage sled. I mean, he really is in the run game. That's where he catches your eye. He's also disruptive in the pass game. Just wanted to give him a little bit of love. Might get lost in the shuffle a little bit playing in Seattle. People not watching those games. High draft pick defensive tackle from Texas last year. He's a stud. Now, on the other end of things, when Seattle has the ball, if you want to win in the NFL, you got to bring your run game with you on the road. And that to me is what this game's all about. When I watched that Jacksonville game back with Kansas City, if you can get tight ends on the field and get them in their elephant package or whatever you want to call it, like that tight front, and you got more defensive linemen on the field, you're dipping more into your depth bag. And if you're running the ball, guys are more tired generally, and so people are tapping helmets. If you can dip into Jacksonville's depth bag on the defensive line, you can have a really good day. There are some guys on that defensive line that are playing probably more snaps than they should, especially on the interior, and do not impress me. And so, if you want to run the ball, this is a good week to do it. Seattle's done a nice job of that. I know Bradford, the right guard, is a liability up front. He's going to be the one that guys are going to want to get on in the pass game. But Bradford and Abe Lucas do a great job of caving fronts on that right side. So, and I asked Nolan, I was like, "Yo, can you crunch me some numbers on the right side?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'll do that for you." As he always does. Thank you, Nolan. He 1.9 yards before contact to the right. That's 4th in the league for Seattle. And then 1.2 yards before contact to the left. That's 14th in the league. I understand that Bradford's the fish, but he's moving some bodies over there. I know he's not a great pass protector. Just want to give him some love. Those guys can really cave some bodies this Sunday. That would be the way I'd come into this game. And when I talk about getting tight ends on the field, the Hawks are 4th in the league with 6 yards per carry in 12 personnel. Also true for Jacksonville. They love having tight ends on the field, but we'll see without Brenton Strange what that does to the run and the pass game for them.
Yeah.
Real tight end, that Brenton Strange.
Yeah, he is. You know what I'm hoping that's going to be a little advantage for the Jags this game?
Yeah.
Is this from the stats of miles, isn't this the longest possible travel from Seattle
to Jacksonville? I suppose Seattle to Miami might be
second
might be worse,
or close.
But Jacksonville's basically on the outskirts of Miami.
Yeah, so close to it. Long travel, and then for those guys in Seattle, the game, it's a 1 o'clock game.
Yeah.
So what's that? A 10 a.m. start for them body wise.
You know what? It's funny. In the past, I've gone through some of these trends, and I don't know if it's going west for teams or going east for teams, but it hasn't really held up to be a big issue.
A big issue.
Yeah, I don't know. And I suppose it depends on how teams travel and that sort of thing,
Yeah.
and obviously the matchup on the field. But I think the big one is for this defense, they got worn out last week. I mean, and they could not rush the passer.
Yeah.
So this is a game where your secondary's got
I wonder
guys.
how humid it was, because obviously we've seen Chris Jones the way he was. I think a lot of those guys on the field, just in general, at the end of that game, on both sides, were dog tired.
Well, that's the one thing. Jacksonville's on a short week.
Yeah.
It's a huge win.
Yep.
The reason, you gave out Seattle on I would probably bet Seattle this week. I hate to say it now that I'm wearing a Trevor Lawrence thing. It's not that I don't think the Jags are good. I just, I really like the Seahawks.
Yep.
I think it's tough off a spot like that where you win, basically the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And then 6 days later, Now, the thing that gives me pause is the secondary and the injuries.
I think Witherspoon will be back.
Yeah.
All right. Armchair doctor.
That'd be great.
And Mike McDonald is 9-1 in his first 10 road games as a head coach.
Wow.
Nice.
Seattle leading
Funny
the
because
league.
they hadn't played well at home.
Leading the league in pressures when rushing just 4.
But guess
No.
what, Macon?
Can help out.
There's a fresh, new, young coach who's making his rounds. And
Keep your name out of his
and
name out of
he
your
is
mouth.
starting his own records and streaks and all that. And I like Liam Cohen.
Big sign stealer, yeah?
I love it. Hey, Salah said we're the best at doing it. That's a compliment.
on that note, and also piggybacking off Chris's point with the Seahawks injuries, I think that's going to be a critical piece of this game too, because if the Seahawks are down some defensive backs, Liam Cohen, that staff, that offense, they do an awesome job getting into the right call pre-snap. So with the motion, with shifts, all those kinds of things, they're going to be stressing the communication of that secondary. So I think it's going to be tough for the Seahawks to get into the right coverage, or the coverage they want to be in, based on the pre-snap look they're getting from the offense.
In the words of Trevor Lawrence, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah, that's always the issue, man. Young guys, dudes off the street, or dudes that, haven't played a lot of snaps. The only good thing you got going for you is you are playing the road. That almost like it kind of becomes harder at home, especially up there where you can't fucking hear anything and it's all hand signals. But, you got to make them one-dimensional. You have to make them one-dimensional, and you got to do it by stopping the run with a light box. Like, that's got to be the name of the game this week for them. Cleveland and Pittsburgh. I might put that second most entertaining in the 1 p.m. slate because I love a rock fight. And I just think, I don't know. I just think, shit, look at the Los Angeles and Baltimore. They drew that up to be the number 2, but Lamar's doubtful. L.A., Miami, that's going to be a lot of fun. But I love a rock fight. Okay, and I love seeing Aaron Rodgers try to run away from Myles Garrett in this front.
Tyson Campbell lurking back there.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's too many points, to your point, for a divisional game. I think Dylan Gabriel doesn't know enough, in a good way. Doesn't know enough to hurt himself. He looked okay at times.
I think Mike Tomlin's going to fire his ass up, Dylan Gabriel. I think it's a situation where we always look at the Steelers, and my always equalizer, like for teams, when I think about like how good teams are going to be, is their coach. And like I feel like everyone every year, doesn't matter what Mike Tomlin has, even if we're trying to count him out, they always find a way to win.
Yeah.
And like at the start of the season, everyone's unsure how good Aaron Rodgers is going to be or that defense is going to be. And they started off not well, but they're finding a way to win games. And I just feel like Mike Tomlin is really good at that and knowing what he has in his team. And I think the Steelers are they know what they have. They're not trying to do too much, but that defense just is going to have to carry them just a little bit more.
I think that's coming to the game. You could tell last week Dylan Gabriel did not want to throw an interception. Like, they were just like, hey, do not.
Mm-hmm.
On some of the balls that I don't think he's going to be great or anything, but I'm not making excuses for him. But on some of those balls that he sails, I'm like, like they say, throw it in the third row on that stuff. You play Pittsburgh this weekend. They've been turning the ball over.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's kind of kept them afloat in some spots. So
better pray that run again. You get that
hand
run
it off.
going.
And it's got to be Judkins. It's got to be Judkins. You got to test the interior. Also, Cleveland, we're about to talk about the yard sale. They got a couple guards that could be for sale, and you want to put good tape out for those guys for a week or two before you ship them out of town. I would be testing the integrity of the interior of that Pittsburgh offensive line. And when you play the Browns, it's as a defensive player, you play a team like this, it's like they lull you to sleep, and then like they'll boot out, and Njoku will take the ball for or Fannin, one of these guys will take the ball for 12, 14 yards, and it just becomes a game of reading your keys and trying not to let somebody out the back door for 20 yards. You can't fall asleep. And then for Cleveland, who's struggled up front mightily, right, to the point that they trade for Cam Robinson. Who knew that they'd be buyers this year in this young season? They got to just know where TJ Watt is and have a plan. You can survive if you throw the kitchen sink at TJ Watt, but if he wrecks this game, Dylan Gabriel's not going to know what hit him.
Nope. Maybe we'll see Shador.
Maybe we'll see Shador, who by the way is the number 2 quarterback.
Finally.
A little ref alert. The Steelers are 10-1 straight up and 8-3 against the spread with referee Ron Torbert, including a perfect 8-0 straight up and 6-2 at home.
Are you fucking kidding me?
But hold on, Chris.
Wow.
Mike Tomlin, 12-26 against the spread as a favorite of 4 or more since 2017, Action Network.
Okay, I like that.
And when the Steelers' offense is pressured, 32nd in EPA in the NFL. That's dead last.
That's not
Myles
good.
Garrett,
They
too
got to
much.
get the ball out. That's the whole thing. Is like they don't have some run game that you're frightened of. It has got to be timing passing. It's just got to be quick game, ball out. And you know, I kind of look at these tackles, and I can't wait to see Myles Garrett line up across from him. I just think he has such an advantage in this game.
But no way Aaron Rodgers lets him wreck a game by himself. He'll know, right? Like he'll be, because I feel like if I'm Aaron Rodgers, like the only thing I'm afraid of is Myles Garrett getting a clean shot at me. Like I legit.
There's some other dudes on
I'm-
this defense now.
Yeah, but I'm legit. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at that hit earlier the year that Burrow took from Myles Garrett, and I'm telling my guys, like, there's no fucking way this happens. There's no way you let the middle of this offense open up and he gets a free shot at me like this.
I could also see Schwartzy just hitting the fuck Aaron Rodgers button every chance he gets.
Yep.
Like, let's just bring the house.
Bring the house.
And hit this motherfucker.
Well, and if you're the Steelers, take a little page out of the Vikings book last week. Myles Garrett had 2 pressures. They chipped Myles on 42.9% of his rushes.
You have to.
Darnell Washington's going to be a
You don't
guy
care-
to watch.
You don't care about your quarterback if you're not sending a chip at him.
Dude, you have to send something at him every play.
Every play.
Every
if you're not
play.
double
He's
teaming
a
him, if
defensive
you're not
line.
double teaming him or chipping him, like you either have unrealistic respect for your tackle,
Yeah.
or you just I don't even
The
know.
only guy that I would love to see one-on-one with, well, there's a couple guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Tristan Wirfs, I think, is a fucking stud. Him and there's other tackles that are great, but I think Wirfs and Lane as pass protectors.
Yep.
Wirfs, Lane, and I know people are down on Trent Williams. That was a fun battle to watch the other night. Him and Verse, like he actually showed the young guys something for some of that game. But anyways, so we're talking too much about this matchup. It's going to be a low-scoring ball game. Somebody is going to look like shit, either Aaron Rodgers or Dylan Gabriel.
Might be a
Both
good
quarterbacks
game.
are not going to look good in this game. One guy's going to take a beating.
Might be a good game for a defensive touchdown somewhere. I don't know which team.
Can we talk about the yard sale here?
Mm-hmm.
It feels like we're willing the Chargers into being like one of the most active teams at the deadline. But like Njoku, are you a Charger? You know,
Wow.
any one of those interior 3 offensive linemen. I mean, the Chargers just benched their center. Didn't they bench
Bradley Bozeman. After last week, I don't know if you saw the play where Herbert calls out the protection.
Yeah.
And then Bradley Bozeman points left when he should have pointed right. And Justin yells, "No!" Ball snap, free runner, boom.
No, fuck, I
It was
didn't
bad.
pick that up.
It was bad.
It's been sacked 16 times in 5 games.
Dude, you know what I hate is like Bradley Bozeman's my dog. I messaged him because I was looking at an Alaskan King mattress and I saw that he had done an ad for Alaskan King mattress.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, yo, how's it feel?
How does it feel?
And
That
he
was
hit me
just
back.
a-
It was cool. I was like, all right, man, appreciate you.
Neo the singer has an Alaskan King bed
Really?
because he has like 4 wives.
Does he really?
Yes.
See, I only have one wife, but like I'm the real winner in that situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. More room for
You
the
got to
fam.
spend money on Alaskan King, but you really get like normal bed real estate.
That is true.
And they're all sleeping in the bed with him?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's stupid. That's really stupid. But you could
Also-
fart all the time and blame it on whoever you wanted, dude. If you had all those wives.
That bad boy
What about the
says
people in the middle when you
square.
gotta pee? Huh?
108 inches by 108 inches. It's a square.
It's a big fucking
Oh,
bed.
I think all it is 2 queen mattresses pushed together.
No, sir.
No? Maybe? No?
Even bigger.
Oh, it's
Okay.
bigger, yeah.
A California
Or-
king
or-
is 84 by 72.
Or maybe 2 kings pushed together.
Not quite either.
Not either?
No.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well,
It's
look at that. There's a whole
big.
family on the bed. People got their dogs and shit. Some people are like, when they heard I was getting it, they're like, "Oh, you guys let the dogs sleep in the bed?" I'm like, "Fuck no. I just like to be alone, man. I just want to be over in my corner, bro. I like to sleep like diagonal. You know what I'm saying? You the same way? Wait till you get married one day. Gets a lot harder to do that. Anyways, the yard sale, Njoku, any interior offensive lineman, Malik Collins. We've been on this year watching him play. I mean, he is
Brother
he
from
is a
another
stud. Somebody free that man. Interior defensive line. I know Tampa with with Kancey being down. That's a big one. I also have Zach Sealer dreamed up for Tampa Bay, but Jerry Jeudy only $6 million guaranteed beyond this year. Somebody might need a wide.
Bring him home.
Somewhere. Bring him home. Wow.
Homeboy gets open.
Go.
He gets open.
Guy.
There were so many clips when with Russell at the helm where Jerry just did shirt.
He doesn't like Jerry Jeudy.
I don't.
He doesn't like Bo Nix, even though he was like, "Oh, I like Bo Nix. I don't like Bo Nix. I like Bo Nix."
Yeah.
I got to check the
We'll show you.
stats. I got to check the stats of Jerry Jeudy since that spat with Steve Smith.
I think it's been a lot better, probably.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think so. All right.
How about New England for Jerry Jeudy?
Yeah, they sure do need.
Mm.
They sure do need one more.
Mm.
They sure do need one more.
Jerry Jeudy actually he might fit in that wide receiver group because Stephon Diggs is
Also a wide receiver.
he also is a wide receiver.
He
But
he don't and he
he's
only
a guy that if Jerry Jeudy seems like a guy that he might rile things up in the wide receiver room if things aren't really going your way. But if you have someone who does that at a higher level than you, then you might not get a chance to do that.
plus that's kind of like that's Jewish wide receiver university.
True. Edelman.
Shout out to my boy Edelman and Jerry Jeudy. If Jerry Jeudy, seriously. Anyways, Arizona at Indianapolis. I didn't want to say this during the pick segment, but
Who'd you guys pick?
well,
Stayed away.
we stayed away. But
Oh,
I kind of like Arizona in the points.
yes,
You know, it's just like it's the law of like
yes.
they were up 21-6 in a football game against a bad team, albeit last week, and they find a way to do like two things they're never going to do again. Never going to do again.
Nah.
How much you want to bet?
No, I agree.
I'll give you 15-1 odds that they don't
that
fumble
happens again.
at the goal line again this year. And I'll give you 30-1 odds that they don't fumble an interception that ends up in a touchdown for the other team.
I'll book that one as well.
Yeah, no, I'll book that too.
So those things aren't going to happen again. Am I obsessed with this team? No, not at all. I think they're just the classic like middling team because I don't love the quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, I've had enough. And
Well, they might be without him this week. Kyler missed his second straight day with a foot.
no way.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Jacoby
then that's
Brissett.
good. We didn't give him out. But
Brissett might be a
now here's
better-
the problem with them. I could see Brissett going and winning them a game like
Yep.
the old version of them where they could run the ball.
Yeah.
They can't run the ball right now. They can't run the ball anymore this year. Like that was something they hung their hat on. So
Would,
You know-
would we have been saying that if that kid had scored that touchdown? Like, would we be saying like, hey, they can run the ball a little bit because that was
I
a
still
70-yard
don't. The
run?
metrics don't hold up this year.
Okay.
Like they're
Yeah.
just not. Now, what's scary is you take that run out of it. I bet you it looks even worse.
It probably looks nuts.
I mean, so anyways, I just, you know, everybody's looking at this Indy thing, wondering when like they're going to turn into a pumpkin. I don't think they're going to turn into a pumpkin, but at some point this year they're going to lose a game or they're going to play somebody who's really bad close, and you're going to be like, what the fuck? Oh, they're frauds. I just Arizona coming off a game like that. John Gannon, how did your team respond to everything that happened? Man, it was dope. Well, maybe not wouldn't have been my choice of words, but like, great. That's how it's supposed to go. Like
Yeah.
when you hit rock bottom as a team, and that was rock bottom
Yep.
for him too. And I want to say this: 'cause I've been back and forth with a lot of people this week. I don't dislike John Gannon. I really like John Gannon.
Yeah.
The point I was making was it doesn't matter who the coach is; just don't put your hands on people.
That's it.
And you know, we had a. Why is it the guys with the softest chins and the roundest faces, the most unathletic dudes that are insistent on coaches being able to hit players?
Oh,
Why is that?
I don't know because I don't know.
It's crazy to me. It's
they
like
got hit.
what they all look like the guys from the the tweets with the where they put like 18 faces.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
They look like those
They
guys.
did, yeah.
And so we put that to bed. You just shouldn't do it. He was fined
100K.
100K. I mean, for him, not a huge deal. I think they come out and play better this week. I think they come out and play with a little bit of fire. And I think the defense matches up pretty well. If Max Melton plays and they have their guys outside, they're going to need all of them. They're pretty good against the run. They should be able to control that part of things, but they got to manufacture some pass rush. We talked about the Indy offensive line. They've been playing really, really well. And one more time, the right tackle, Braden Smith, was awesome last week. I know that early in the game he might have had a procedural thing or two. I didn't catch that part of it, but watching the all-22 of him being tasked with blocking Max Crosby one-on-one, I was pretty impressed with the guy. He's been a good player in the league for a while, but I think this offensive line's really rounding into form. So
Tanner Bordolini, shout out.
Yeah.
Green light homie.
Green light local, maybe.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that this offensive line's really good. And Arizona could make this interesting. Just don't be surprised if they do, even with the backup.
Jonathan Taylor leading the league in rushing yards after contact, tied for second in missed tackles forced, and fourth in runs of 10 yards or more. He's Jonathan Taylor of 2 years ago.
Yeah, no, he's back to being Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
The next one I want to talk about is New England and New Orleans.
That was my number one in the 1 p.m.
Really?
Yeah. Love this.
Because you want to see this
Battle
team.
of the news.
Again, your team has the Super Bowl, and I know Mike Vrabel, as they would say, praises rat poison. That's what they say in Philly. The players do. Not but the coaches and the players do. We don't want to be praised. Vrabel's coming in this week and he's saying, guys, just remember you fucking suck. That's kind of that's the way a coach has to operate after a big win like that. It's hey, stroke your ego the morning after. See what we can do, see what we're capable of. And then the rest of the week it's we're not going to have a letdown this week, you motherfucker. That's kind of the tone of practice after. And I'm sure they've got great energy and everything, but there is probably an undertone of, guys, this is a trap. And, I'm not a big fan of talking about a trap game all week because it almost becomes a fulfilling prophecy. It kind of does them some good that New Orleans won that game last week because everybody's antenna is up and saying hey, this is actually not a bad football team. The tape tells you that. So this is gonna be an interesting one. I
think it's newsworthy.
What?
New England versus New Orleans.
Oh, that's really good.
That's an alley-oop from Dr. Fax.
Man, that was good. I looked back at the game the other night, and there are two guys that were even better than I thought they were. Drake May was spectacular. Sometimes it's easy to bite the cheese after a performance like that, and you wake up in the morning, you see all these hyperbolic tweets, and New England fans are we're back. To say we're back as a New England fan is that's a big declaration because you mean back to being the way you were. Kid's pretty good. I love the way he layers footballs, man. And when I mean layer football, layer them over zones, between zones, putting touch on a ball. He put a touch on a ball to Hunter Henry that if he'd have drilled that ball in there and thrown it up here, he was going to get killed. And he had to put a little bit of lob on it. It was in the middle of the field, and he just kind of. He's a passer, not a thrower. You know how people say that, and most people are what the fuck do you mean?
Yeah.
Well, a thrower just throws the ball hard, can't vary speeds, can't drop the arm angle, can't do any of that stuff. He layers the football in between zones. And the other night, just the offensive line, and this is where I'm going. Will Campbell was better than I thought. Will Campbell was even better than I thought the other night. He was good live. But then I watched him and I was holy shit.
Pancaking people.
I was so impressed.
T-Rex ass, man.
Yeah, his T-Rex ass arms. He was just locking people up, dude. I was so impressed. I'm impressed with his anchor. I'm impressed with his athleticism and his attention to detail. And his nasty. You knew that was what he was going to be like. That's kind of his attitude, right? But for this offensive line to go into Buffalo and play Sean McDermott's defense and play those mug looks every third down. When you watch tape sometimes, and I'm talking about all 22, there's no sound, obviously, but I can fucking hear the third downs on some of those, where you're it is loud. I don't need to have the TV copy on to know that it is really fucking loud right now for this group. And for a young offensive line, not just Will Campbell, they played really well. And I think they got the quarterback to go with it and the scheme to go with it, where the quarterback's not going to take a bunch of dumb sacks maybe to the point where you're like, all right, dude, create. Remember at the beginning of the game, Chris Collinsworth was like, hey, the one thing is he just puts his head down sometimes, like, and that's a good thing sometimes to take the sack. He'll learn to pick his spots and create. But the thing I love that Josh does is early downs, he gets some easy completions. And you don't have to run the ball 40 times a game because some of these dump downs are like run plays for them. Mm-hmm. They'll go like 4 verts and leak the running back out through the A gap, or just knowing that like, hey, we're going to take that check down. And I just think Josh does a great job of keeping him on schedule, on time. He showed great maturity. He was even better on tape than I thought. So this was a big win for them. And last thing I'll say, not to time anybody out, but fucking the first third down of the game, and like Joey Bosa's a bad motherfucker, dude. He's been in this league a long time. If you're a rookie, you're like, damn, I got to block Joey Bosa. And if you're a rookie quarterback, you're like, man, Joey Bosa's going to hit me. He's not a rookie quarterback. His second year. His first year for Joey in New England. Fucking, bro, we look like Chad Powers. You just sat down. The first third down, seriously, it's like the first third down, Bosa spins back inside or something, and Drake steps up and gets sacked, and Bosa burps him, like just fucking ear holes him, like on the line. Like, I'm not calling him dirty because I kind of love that shit.
Yeah.
But, that was like a big, like, holy shit moment for that young group where it's like, it is loud here. These guys did not come to play.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to be tattooing my ass. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of those hits that happened later in the game were as a result of how they were trying to burp Drake early in that game.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying.
New England was hunting.
Yeah, they were.
Hunting.
Yeah, they were.
Defense needs to just keep playing that way.
That's it.
High key, Saints had the ball down fewer than a touchdown points against the Cardinals in week 1.
That's right.
The Niners in week 2.
Mm-hmm.
We're down single digits to those Buffalo Bills in the fourth quarter.
Single digits.
Maybe they're not bad.
They're not bad. They are bad in that they're not going to win a lot of football games, but that's almost by design. Like, this team is not supposed to be a 10-win team. Like, you're kind of taking the year off. The players on the field aren't, but like organizationally, you're not really trying to win. And I think Spencer Rattler, and we said this a bunch, is better than people. If Spencer Rattler was a first-round pick this year, we'd be like, all right,
pretty accurate.
Not bad. Like middle of the first-round pick player, you'd be like, damn, okay, that makes sense. He's playing fine, dude. And the team as a whole, now it's a shame because we're going to start talking about Saints yard sale.
Olave
is scrappy. I don't think they're going to part ways with Olave. I think Shaheed would make somebody really happy.
Kamara.
Shaheed in New England would be a lot of fun.
Yep.
Fuck. Shaheed, I'm trying to think of where else Shaheed would kind of...
Shaheed would raise the average GPS speed of that New England pass catching group substantially.
Oh,
he would totally change the picture for them.
He would completely change the picture. He would completely change the picture.
Fit.
I think Shaheed is a guy people should be looking at. Alvin Kamara is the one everybody's looking at. Mm-hmm. The Kendre Miller snap shares are going way up every week for him, up to 39% week 5 from 15% week 1. So I definitely, and I talked about this, I think, in the preview show before the season. I said, watch, New Orleans is going to trade Alvin Kamara to Kansas City. Promise you I said it. And I know that's not some huge hot take. You got it up here? Oh, you got it. We got proof of concept.
Yes.
We love that.
Yeah.
Chiefs make a trade for running back. Now, when you think tradable asset, somebody who's for sale, so to speak, it's the New Orleans Saints. And who plays running back for that team? It's the affordable, aging Alvin Kamara. The guy who, if you put him in a Chiefs offense, that would be must-see TV.
Must see.
Somebody tweeted at me earlier because I brought it up again. They were like, imagine that wheel route. Like, the way I'm just saying, and when we talk about Kamara, he's one of my favorite running backs. He's always been one of my favorite running backs. Does it all. Tough. Fucking catches the ball to the backfield. Cool jump cuts. Like, fun to watch. Mm-hmm. The whole thing. If he joined that Kansas City offense, bro, honestly, if I'm the Chargers, if I'm Harbaugh, I walk upstairs and I'm like, we need to make this move
So they
so
can.
they don't make this move.
Yeah.
We need to protect the
Chestnut
the
checkers.
world at large.
Yeah.
And we need a running back because Hampton's in a boot. Harris is out for the year.
Oof.
This to me would be huge because Hampton, he can catch the ball in the backfield, but this guy's a totally different deal.
Yeah.
Totally different deal. And for Kamara, like, love to see him go win at the end of his career. I know he's been on some good teams before. And there's one guy defensively for me that absolutely needs to go play somewhere else, and that is DeMario Davis. I think, I think the Broncos would be great. When I think about teams that have really good
Fucking hell.
defenses but can't get it together at linebacker level, I don't know who else.
The Colts for DeMar Davis. They just had Joe Bocci going IR. And also talk about adding to a strength. Seattle with Tyrese Knight not performing as well as last year.
Oh, man.
Kind of figuring out that
Play next to
linebacker
Jones.
spot next to Ernest Jones. That'd be a pretty fun fit as well.
No question, bro. Joe Bocci, I didn't know he got hurt. I just was watching him on tape the other day. Jeez. Joe Bocci. Okay, so there's some guys in New Orleans that you could use some rescuing, but we'll see what happens. Los Angeles and Baltimore. Lamar's doubtful. That takes all the air out of this game. We did have a trade. We had the OA trade, which we talked about briefly on Tuesday. Facts. Gilman comes over to Baltimore. It kind of feels like, and this is what we said when we saw it, was like, is it going to be like the inverse of last year, right? Where you instead of moving Kyle Hamilton to safety to simplify things, you're down so bad defensively, and I kind of like this line of thinking if that's what they're going to do. Gilman being a deep safety, put your best player, by far your best player, in the box and let him do whatever the fuck he wants. Like, obviously, you have some matchup dependent ideas. There's some things that you would like him to do, but I almost feel like it'd be fun to just let him kind of play like a rover or something and just do whatever the fuck you want, man.
Bro,
Like,
they got to do something.
because he's got to add to the pass rush.
Yeah.
The pass rush isn't great. You just shipped OA. I mean, like, it's kind of like the way you can use Derwin James to do 15 things. Like, you can use him to do 15 things. So, like, this year it might demand that he needs to do 15 things, where last year it was like, all right, just move him back, play him next to Washington, bing, bang, boom. I don't know how serious – I fly on the wall. I'm kind of wondering what Baltimore thinks of themselves right now. Like, we're going to be 1-5 after this weekend if we lose to the Rams. Are we going anywhere?
Just became the first team in the Super Bowl era to allow 37 or more points in 4 of their first 5 games.
Crazy. They're averaging giving up 35 a game in the first 5. It's crazy. It's crazy, dude. So, for the Rams, they're going to have to stop the run. They got the front for it. Poona Ford looks a lot better than what Poona Ford really improved their unit as we thought he would. Like, when you watch their interior, and I'm not sure, like, I don't want to, like, is Kobe Turner okay? Is he a little dinged or something? He didn't look the same the other night. Poona Ford looks like the guy they brought him in, the guy that they thought they were getting. And so this is a game where you just got to, it's like, I feel suddenly sorry for Derrick Henry, where it's like, okay, you're just a pinata every week now until Lamar's back. I mean, people are just like, it becomes a tee-off thing. It's 11 hats to the football, and it's tattoo this guy. So we'll see if Cooper Rush plays again for them, but that didn't look like a winning experiment. And I don't want to say like Baltimore's having a yard sale, but Mark Andrews is available, it sounds like.
Jacksonville.
Ravens are the odds-on favorite to win the division at plus 105.
Which is a wild thing.
I love Vegas. That's why I love Vegas. And it's just like we sit here and you see that and you're like, how in the fuck?
What do you think it goes to if they're 1-5? And we said this earlier this week. There is a path for them to climb back in it
absolutely.
But the OA thing is a little bit curious. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, where it's like your pass rush is terrible right now. Like, and you probably traded your best guy, and I know you got to get something for him, because you're not going to pay him. Maybe you decided that, but
next man up. There's always room for new stars.
They're going to have to blitz. They're going to have to be more aggressive. You just are.
Yeah.
So LA and Miami. We've got the Tua Herbert Bowl.
Tua said he doesn't care. He goes home to his kids no matter what.
Well, dude, you know what? Like every time I watch Tua talk, like for the most part, I'm like, I like the guy, and I liked the guy before this whole Herbert and Tua thing, dude. Like, and I thought Tua played really well last week.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he played really well, dude. So good for him. It's almost easier to just now that everybody understands like the context of the conversation we're having. It's easier to just concede, like, hey, that was good. You know, it's Waller helps.
Yeah.
Waller really helps. They also don't have a run game. Like they could not run the ball last week. What happened to this run offense, dude?
Moisture.
Yeah,
No
it's
friction.
It's tough, man. It's tough to watch. It's tough to watch the Dolphins play because the defense isn't playing well either. You talk about the defense last week. I mean, do you have that picture, Nolan? I know we can't post film, but I've been what I'm going to start doing is just sharing freeze frame pictures from all 22 because the NFL is shutting down the studio, so to speak. So, all right, look at Dowdle take the ball. Okay, there's the hole. Now give me one more frame forward. Enhance. Can you zoom in on that? He doesn't get tackled here at all. All right, go to the next frame. He doesn't get tackled there. Go to the next frame. That's how the NFL wants us to show film.
You are a line stepper.
But it's not. It's just in video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are still pictures, dude. This is shout out to Dan Orlovsky, who Dan Orlovsky. I don't understand, bro. Dan Orlovsky's like, he's great at his job. First off, I think Dan's awesome at his job. So like, this is going to be like a Orlovsky glaze sesh, but
He's got a good "I'm listening to you" face.
he does.
Really intent.
But I gotta say, as somebody who I would rather eat glass for breakfast every morning than like, work at ESPN and be like on the desk in the morning when they're like, Shedeur Sanders is only the third string. What do we think? I'm like, kill me, bro. Like, is there a window ajar somewhere I can just sprint out of? Like some of the things that people challenge him on, and just like, especially being Dan Orlovsky and like the whole running out of the back of the end zone thing, not being like a heralded quarterback and the whole thing, but he's a fucking NFL quarterback. And you walk into a room and a bunch of fans who never played are immediately like, fuck your takes, bro. You were an NFL quarterback, but not that good at it. Like, what is that? So he's got to deal with all that shit. I think he's awesome. I think Dan's fucking great at his job. Also, the other day he called it. He called this like 3 years ago. There was a video of Rex Ryan and him arguing like 2-3 years ago, and they were talking about Brock Purdy at the time. And I guess Dan's take was, if Mac Jones was in San Francisco, watch how he'd look. And at this point, he's not even in San Francisco. And they fucking laughed at him on set. They just were like, ha 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 ha. And it turned out to be true. Like, he looked great the other night, and he's looked good so far playing for Kyle Shanahan. This is a long-winded way of saying that the NFL should be honestly embarrassed. Like, I don't understand, like, what the thought process is that former players, especially former players, guys who took years off their life, maybe not Dan, but I took years off my life to play this game, and I can't share video, all 22, on my social channels. I understood when everybody told us, hey, we can't do it on our stuff because we've monetized the show. Like, I'm making money doing this show, so I guess that makes sense. I got to pay, like, billions of dollars like Pat McAfee, if I want to do it. But, like, to tell Dan Orlovsky you can't share all 22 on social channels, especially when there are content creators making boatloads of money sharing all 22 on YouTube and on their socials, and you pick Dan out of everybody. Like, this is just, I don't know, bro. Look what Dan Orlovsky has to do right now. For @Titans fans, and since I'm not allowed to post video on here anymore, go watch 1Q 8:14 and second quarter 3:42, second quarter 14. It's fucking crazy, dude. Like, instead of a tweet with 4 Cam Ward throws and everybody being like, oh, I want to buy Red Zone.
Yeah.
I want to buy, YouTube TV so I can fucking see this shit live. Anyways, back to the game. Boy, that rookie left guard for Miami had a rough day against Carolina. And Achane is on the block. Achane is another guy that could end up in any one of these places. Maybe L.A.,
KC.
KC.
That preseason soft tissue hardened up. He's been fine.
Yeah. Okay, Dallas and Carolina.
Be careful.
I know we were on different sides of this.
I know.
I just pulled a U and I just threw Carolina in there. I don't know how I feel about it, but
I trick-dicked Vegas.
you did.
They're trying to trick-dick us.
I have a question for the group. Do you guys think the Cowboys can make the playoffs?
Yes, but the problem is, and you pointed this out. I mean, the NFC's too deep. I mean, like, so they got to actually win games. Like, it can't be like an 8-9 thing. Like, nobody's gonna back into the playoffs this year in the NFC. But like, why not? We last year the Bengals were within a game or two of it, and that defense I would argue is worse than this defense.
Mm-hmm.
And this offense is cut from the same cloth where it's like, hey, we can score 35, 40 points a game. They don't have CeeDee Lamb right now.
They don't have CeeDee Lamb.
They've been doing things without their starting offensive line throughout the entire beginning of the year. Like Dak Prescott.
Dak looks good.
Dak Prescott's playing like an MVP.
Yep, he looks good. He looks healthy, and that's a scary team.
Scary
offense. That's a scary offense.
offense.
Let me say that right.
Yeah.
That's a scary offense that can put up points.
And
no
that's an
matter
uncomfortable
what.
thing, dude.
Yeah, it is.
It's an uncomfortable thing. Like, okay, well, we got to be perfect and score 5 touchdowns. They're
Yeah.
going to score 5 touchdowns. Like, I know their defense sucks, but we can't turn the ball over.
Who gets the ball? It's like who gets the ball last situation with them almost right now, and we've seen that already. It went into a goddamn
Fucking Green
tie,
Bay.
a damn tie.
Green Bay just fell asleep for a second, didn't keep their foot on the gas pedal. Like, just, in the second half of that game, it's like Dallas is just right back in it. And I know not every team is Green Bay in the secondary and that sort of thing. And we will talk about those corners in a couple minutes. But so I want to say this about Carolina. Like, for the 15th time, people give Bryce a lot of shit. But like, that fumble on the play, like, he's the classic, the delta between how he plays and what you read online is just so different. I'm not saying he's, like, made it or something, but if you read, the timeline or you read people, I don't know why you would do this, like read the opinions of everybody on him, but like they think he sucks. Like people think he sucks, dude. When I saw that he, that fumble where he took the Reid play last week, turned his hips and he wanted to dump it to like Tommy Tremble, but I think Chubb was right in his face. And people were like, oh, he's so scared he just dropped the ball. I was like, no, he was pulling the ball out to try to throw it, and he tried to tuck it, and he dropped the ball. Okay. Not to excuse a turnover, but it's just he has bad branding, dude. He's resilient as fuck. Okay, first off, you get benched in your career and you come back and play well. That's resiliency. But the drive before the half where he rolls right on 4th and 5 and hits McMillan was, I mean, that play in and of itself, it's another freeze frame that I wish I'd show you guys the freeze frame. When he releases the football, he's between 3 guys. One of them he just dropped in the open field, and you can't see McMillan. He's not in the frame. He throws that ball and lets it go. He's throwing to a spot. He did the same thing in the end zone when he hit Leggett. I mean, Leggett's on the other side of the corner when he throws that ball. And
on that pass to McMillan, how quick did it?
His release.
It hit the ball is down here at his hip and then up out of his hand in less than.
I'll be on the soapbox and when I'm wrong, I will be spectacularly wrong, and I'll tell everybody like, oh, what an idiot I am. I was a Bryce Young stan. That little guy fooled me, but I want to plant my flag is like when he's tearing shit up, whether it's on the Panthers or somebody else. Just remember
Dan
who the
Orlovsky
fuck
right
told
now.
you.
Bryce Young in San Francisco in 3 years. Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah, Bryce Young in San Francisco in 3 years would be great. Bryce Young in L.A. in next year would be great.
Minnesota
or 2 years from now. But I just saying, whatever it is, I just can't watch the guy. I can't understand for the life of me how people watch him and they're like, oh, he sucks. Talk about sticking to a take.
Can I give you a stat?
Yeah.
When he's faced pass defenses that are not good, giving up 250-plus yards a game, he's 0-8
That's interesting.
in his career.
That's interesting.
Show him a bad pass defense, and he's not yet won a game.
But is he the whole team?
Nope. One
That's
like
the other side of that
53.
thing. And guess who? Last week there was a lot of good stuff going on. The pitch to Dowdle that he took for like 40 yards or whatever it was, Xavier Legette is blocking his ass off. Made a big play in the end zone. I shout out this Brady Christensen guy. I know this is the time of the pod where some people are like, "What the fuck are you talking about Carolina?" But there are Panthers fans. I grew up as one. He's playing well right now at guard. And then the other guy I want to shout out is Scorton, who I've been on since the preseason. I told y'all about this motherfucker. He's a pro edge player. Now they also got the Princely cat who's tall as shit. But like Ivero this week, he's a high level intelligent, high level workmanship, high level football intangibles guy. That's a great thing to hear. Derek Brown played well last week. The defensive line played well. They allowed very little on the ground. That's going to be what it takes this game. Stopping this run game. I mean, we're going to make a lot out of the Dak thing, and certainly that's something you got to contend with. But you got to stop the run game. And I got to shout out Cowboys D-line. 40 pressures over the last 2 games. James Houston rushing his ass off. The only thing is for the Panthers, Jets had 113 yards on 14 carries. Game script didn't support that. Carolina's going to run the football. It's the Rico Dowdle revenge game. Are you feeling a little bit worse yet?
No.
Dowdle.
Got Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith, Derek Brown. That'll be fun. Tyler Smith has not given up a sack yet this year.
Oh, can I tell you that this is the real gem in this breakdown here? Do you guys know who Clayton Adams is? You're not supposed to.
Yeah, coordinator. Offensive coordinator, Dallas.
Is he the coordinator? He's the coordinator? Do you know who Clayton Adams is?
Potentially the offensive coordinator in Dallas.
But an offensive line coach by trade. Okay, and where did he come from last year?
Arizona.
You know who can't run the ball right now?
I like it, Arizona.
You know who's running the fucking rock? Dallas.
Javonte Williams.
This guy Clayton Adams, man. I'm not saying it's all about him, but they have done a great job. Shoddy says, I've run the ball everywhere I've ever gone, but Clayton Adams is a guy. Dallas ranks first in rushing success rate. Arizona ranks 32nd.
And
they want that old thing back.
And big ups to Shoddy as well.
Shoddy's the man.
Not such a funny hire anymore, huh?
No, I know it was. I mean, people were. So, anyways, we get into the 4 o'clocks here. San Francisco at Tampa Bay. That's the big one. That is the big one. It is so fun watching Shanahan use Christian McCaffrey as a weapon when he doesn't even have the ball. He's like the sleight of hand. It's like a sleight of hand thing. You know, like, isn't there some boss in like a movie that's got a sleight of hand thing? He's like a video game boss that has like something really distracting, and then they just bitch slap you with the other hand. Like that's what Shanahan reminds me of right now, dude. It's because he doesn't get the ball every time. They're not running the football that well. They really aren't running the football that well. He is just a nightmare in the passing game. Mm-hmm. Like, and obviously anytime you watch Kyle Shanahan, it's a lot of fun, but like some of the underneath stuff, the little layers of detail in their scheme is just second to none. Like, dude will catch the ball out of the backfield and the slant is in perfect position to pick after the catch. You know, there's little things like that. Every route somebody's open, 8 out of 10 of the times, McCaffrey's pulling coverage from the middle of the field in the flat. It's just he's you can play chess with this guy. And so, you know, he might not be running for that many yards, but he should be in the MVP conversation.
Well, and the ball's not touching the ground. They had it for 40 minutes last Thursday night and had only 74 rushing yards.
Yeah.
Hard to do.
No, Shanahan's a whiz. In my opinion, coach of the year. I know some people are on Indy and Steichen, but in my opinion, if the season ended today, it's fucking Kyle Shanahan, bro. Offensive line's doing a great job in pass pro. I mean, they really are. It's just too easy. This chess piece he's so valuable. Now, unfortunately, they lost their chess piece on defense, and you know they have not been the same without Bosa. Mm-hmm. It's been harder to get pressure. I think that's why they might be buyers at the trade deadline. You might have to manufacture more pressure. Nolan made a point, and he was like, I'd like to see Saleh become more Jim Schwartz at this point. You know, like just a little uptick in the use of pressure.
Pressure rate has dropped 14% on non-blitz plays without Bosa.
I also want to wait and see, like, let this group grow up without him a little bit. Like, they probably are buyers regardless. But, like, they did play two pretty good offenses. In Jacksonville, his offensive line's playing really well. In L.A., who, they're not going to let Matt Stafford get killed out there, and that group just couldn't get pressure. Okay, so just give them some time. I'm not saying they're not going to be buyers. I think what it comes down to for them is attacking the linebackers, man. We talk a lot about now, like Servassier Dennis, who's like a really cagey kind of player in the run game. Been looking at him all year and thinking to myself, like, he just kind of looks unorthodox out there, but he makes a lot of plays in the run game. He kind of slithers around, dude. But in the pass game, he doesn't have great instinct. For a smaller runaround guy, I would think he'd be better in pass coverage. And Levante David, as I said, he made a big play at the end of the week last year with a pick, but he has not looked like prime Levante David, especially in space. So, like, I think that's what it comes down to in this game is we're going to try to pick on these. And listen, the secondaries, there are injuries in the secondaries, and Morrison's not up.
Yeah, they are very banged up in the secondary. Morrison didn't practice. Zion McCollum, he played through a thumb injury last week. Actually had a procedure on it earlier this week. Todd Bowles says it's kind of just a pain tolerance thing as to whether he'll be able to go. So both those guys, they could be without them again.
Wow. Yeah, so I see points in this one. I gave out the over. I think San Francisco can probably find a way to move the ball. I mean, I just detailed some of the ways that they, and I thought Mac Jones was great. Mac Jones made some throws with pressure in his face, threw to some spots, layered the ball between zones. Like,
after seeing a dead body.
I was like, bro, who the fuck is this guy?
After seeing a dead body, too.
Yeah, dude.
It's crazy.
I know.
Nuts.
No, we were saying earlier, like, he's got to see a dead body this week.
Man.
What if their team hotel's like in the harbor? And he's just out on the porch like, where is it?
If that happens again, the FBI is going to pick Mac Jones up.
No question.
Like,
and you know what?
Hey, bro, like,
I got to tell you, wouldn't surprise me at all if he was a serial killer.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That fucking jacket
With
last
that
week
suit,
and everything.
Yeah.
The timing of that suit
know-
was crazy.
You know how every team has a fixer? Like, that's probably the fixer's job this week.
Yeah.
Fran is like,
Yep.
stage of bodies.
Yep. They just put like one of these movie bodies in the water. Yeah, we don't want any real bodies in the fucking. But the problem on the other side is we touched on it, like the pass rush for San Francisco. If they can't get the rush, it really they are. This pass game for Tampa right now is pretty fucking impressive. They play with a lot of speed. They're like ferocious, man. The way they pass the ball is ferocious. You know how like you think about a run offense and you're like, man, they're fucking violent. They're like a violent passing attack, dude.
But you know what I like
if
about
that makes sense? Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely.
Godwin did
Absolutely.
not practice Thursday.
Yeah, that's a problem.
But I like Salah to get those guys going this week. And maybe there's someone that needs to step up and we don't really know about yet on 49ers D-line that can maybe make an impact. But that's always cool to see what coaches have to do when a star player like Nick Bosa does go down, how you kind of fill that void. And it's usually by numbers and getting guys in there and getting reps, and maybe a few games away from not having Nick out there, guys playing around in spots that they're maybe not used to on the D-line. And hopefully they could generate some pressure. They're definitely going to need it.
Yeah, the guys just need to really hold up outside. And the one thing if we were at ESPN right now, we'd be doing a whole segment on quarterback controversy in San Francisco. Glad we're not, but we are here and we can. I don't know if there's a controversy. I think for me, you ride the hot hand until Purdy's 100% healthy.
Yep.
Like if Purdy's 90%, you don't put him out there because that's what a competent backup's for. That's what Mac Jones is for. And honestly, if it weren't for the fact that he's proven to be so valuable for them, you'd think he'd be trade bait.
Yeah.
But I think case in point, like guys get hurt for San Francisco. They've been gluing it together.
And they've been doing a real good job. And like to your point about coach of the year,
well fucking coached.
Obviously I want Liam Cohen to win it. But to your point, I feel like they're the only team too that they have so many injuries and they find a way to figure it out, to make it work. And hey, and if that's front office down to the coaching in the sense of, hey, you're only as good as your last man on the bench, and you might have seasons where you get the injury bug and you get a couple of more guys hurt, and you have to figure out how to make that work. And being what they only have one loss right now with San Fran, they're clearly doing that, and I feel like that's a good problem for them to have right now.
As we talk about the Purdy thing, I thought the thing that separates him, and I've said this before, from like just a point guard, a game manager, is his creative play, as the down goes on. And, I had Nolan look up numbers for time to throw, and because I saw this year that one of Purdy's biggest issues is he's holding the ball longer than 2.5 seconds, and his passer rating goes down, the whole thing. That wasn't always the case. 2 years ago, it was not the case, and that's what these numbers confirm. Nolan, you got those numbers?
Yeah, 2023, 2.5 seconds or less, 69% completion, 106 rating, 8.4 yards per attempt. You go 2.6 or more, 63% completion, 103 rating, 9.7 yards per attempt. So, good either way, more or less than 2.5 seconds in 23. Same thing in 24. You're looking at a passer rating in the 90s, completion percentage, go from 70% under 2.5 seconds to 60 and 2.6 or more. Both cases a high yards per attempt. So that hasn't really been a factor across 23 and 24. There has been a drop off this year, but whether that's
that's talent. I think it's talent.
Exactly. I think guys aren't separating for him. You
got to have people that separate, and then you also have to understand, like, as the play breaks down, like, really special wide receivers are great in scramble drill, and like, they just don't have any of those guys out there right now. And another thing is, like, Kittle hasn't been healthy. Kittle late in the down. I don't know what to make of the Purdy thing. That was something people were floating around, was like, well, he's not playing well off schedule. I was like, well, that's not always been the case with him. I always thought, like, the thing that separated him from some of the guys that I consider game managers purely is that he can create late in the down. It just has not happened this year especially. So we'll see when he gets back. If he gets back, there might be a quarterback controversy. I don't think there needs to be. So Cincinnati, Green Bay, Tennessee, Vegas are the other 4 p.m. games. Are there any other ones?
Just those two.
Man, this is beautiful. Obviously, everybody's going to want to watch the new kid on the block.
Flacco.
I was talking about Cam Ward.
Oh.
No, I'm joking. Everybody's going to want to watch this young gun who just got off he didn't even get in a plane. Evidently, he just, I don't know what it is, Highway 71 or some shit, but he just rode that thing straight.
There's a plane picture.
Down or up. Was it a plane picture?
Was,
commercial flight.
That was from a few years
No, that's a
ago.
couple years ago.
My bad.
Yeah.
All right. Chill.
God, you fucking idiot. No problem.
Jeez. Oh, wait. He's driving that far?
Probably got
At
picked up.
6'6"?
Well, I'd rather drive that far than fly and go through the airport. I think it's like a 3-4 hour drive. No?
5.5. 3.5.
3.5 is a perfect drive, dude. It's a perfect drive.
3.5. Okay.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
see? What's the highway you take?
71 South.
71 South. Fuck, dude. I'm like a walking GPS.
Yeah.
So
You stop talking about Clayton Adams, I start losing it a little bit.
yeah. Well, I think Flacco, man, gives them something. He gives them a little hope. It's unfortunate they play the Packers this weekend. But I do think
After a bye.
if they can figure a way to block these guys up, which is a huge if, Flacco's I think was getting murdered in Cleveland. It's like almost as bad in Cincinnati, and the only difference is when you throw up a prayer, which actually I think there's going to be an improvement in that department. I would much rather see this. Is that Flacco's back?
Yeah, during the Jake Browning interview.
Oh, yikes, dude. Browning did not seem happy. Browning
Wasn't just me.
Browning
Not going wrong. Wasn't
Browning
just
strikes
me.
me as a guy that thinks that, like, he was supposed to be the guy, like, no questions asked, man. Like, and I know it ain't fair. Like, I don't think the coaches set the table well for the group, but you had to make a change. I mean, you had to make a change. And for me, we called for the Flacco thing the day after Burrow got hurt. It's not like some crazy hot take. The guy plays for Cleveland, and maybe it's a little bit of recency bias, and it wouldn't be recency bias. It'd be quite the opposite.
I got a question for you guys.
What?
Do you guys think that Micah will end this game with more solo tackles than Jamar Chase.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he gets back right. That
Yeah.
means you guys are confident that Flacco's not.
I saw that
you guys
graphic.
confident that Flacco's not going to throw a pick.
Flacco's probably going to throw a pick, but like,
So that means Jamar Chase, he's the best. He's the best offensive tackler right now. 5 solos.
that is a crazy graphic. I also saw it. That's wild.
It is wild.
But
Can you use that in negotiations down the line? Be like, look,
no,
if you end up a wide receiver with double-digit tackles on your resume,
no,
that's not a.
no.
I think Chase's stats are plenty good.
Can I take this
Yeah.
fucking
Tackles
thing off,
back.
dude? Jesus, it's hot in this.
It is
it's hot
hot.
in these rhinos. Golly, that feels so much better. You should try it.
No,
You're
y'all
never
don't have
gonna
that-
know.
Y'all don't have that dog in you.
So no, you just don't want to fuck your hair up on camera. You don't have a hat.
No,
Put on that
got
big green
I got
light
that
hat.
Jaguar.
I just
Oh shit! I kind of look like him.
I was literally about to say
Yeah.
we've got Trevor Lawrence on set.
That's wild. Pick your nose a little bit. Hey, no, I feel like Flacco's going to give him a spark. It couldn't be worse than it's been. Couldn't be worse than it's been.
Whoa. Freezing cold takes. Can't wait.
What what am I saying?
No, if it is worse, like, what if it's just like abysmal? What if they just can't just get it right? Like,
Then you can throw a party on Monday, but I don't like. What would it take for it to be worse than losing the worst?
It's been
the
6
guy's not
picks.
not understanding Flacco's snap count and just it looking crazy. Like, I mean, he just got there. Like, I'm just playing devil's advocate. Like,
I know.
I just
it's in your job description, but like
I was told when the
it
new
could
guy
not be.
comes
What
in,
does worse look like?
yeah, I hear you.
the O-line keeps it a little tighter. They're looking out for the new guy. They're
Yeah,
on their P's and Q's.
Yeah, because he might die. Like he's 40 years old, bro. Like I'm trying to imagine getting hit
that's what
the
I'm
way
saying.
Joe Flacco's gonna get hit. Now I know he's a big truck. He's like 6'6" and everything, but like Micah Parsons, Rashawn Gary, like all those fucking guys, dude. They're don't. But remember, dude, the Packers corners, man. Packers corners. Who's to say they can't do this?
Just get it out to 1.
Dallas found a way.
Yeah,
You know, I'm not saying they're going to win the game or tie the game, but like Dallas found a way to move the ball. I think they're going to be able to move the ball a little bit.
I think a big game for Higgins.
And a big game, honestly, for Green Bay's offensive line. They have not played well. They have injuries. They got to do a better job of protecting Jordan Love down the stretch. I mean, you got the whole fucking season left. Tennessee and Vegas.
Cameron Ward became the 4th rookie number 1 overall drafted quarterback to come back from down 18-plus points since the merger, joining Andrew Luck, Matthew Stafford, and John Elway.
Great list to be on.
Nice
Yeah,
list.
especially when respectfully, like, it was a great drive at the end of the game, and I think he's a total stud, gonna be a stud, but like the fucking Cardinals scored 15 points on themselves, dude. So I can't wait to see Cam Ward get an opportunity to play a defense that, and I used the word shred earlier today. I don't mean necessarily he's gonna shred this defense, but like he'll be able to operate back there. You got to get Crosby blocked. But I do think this is going to be an opportunity for him to look. This is going to be his best game. Just to get the gift that they got last week. The vibes are going to be high, and a little breathing room to operate. Now Vegas on the other end, they're saying the same thing. Like, oh, we get some breathing room. But I don't know. Jeffrey Simmons has been playing so fucking well. The interior.
He leads all D tackles with 20 total pressures and 13 quick pressures, 4 more than any other D tackle. And the Raiders have allowed the second highest interior pressure rate this season.
Yeah,
Simmons is
let him
dealing with
eat.
an ankle. He did not practice Wednesday.
well, they're going to be dealing with a Jeffrey Simmons on Sunday.
And Gino's at home
Raiders
where
interior offensive line dealing with a Simmons.
Gino's at home where he's thrown 3 picks per game.
Dude, I got to tell you, hand up. Holy shit. I don't know if it was peyote or what. But like preseason, I was like, yo, Dome Gino. Oh, this whole thing. Cut the social. He's going to be so good. Bro, like I could not control for Gino just forgetting how to throw the football. I know that the offensive line is piss poor, but he's making throws where, and I've said this 100 times, like I worry about his confidence because I watched his teammates console him after these picks, and it's like I know the body language of somebody who's got a confidence problem that the whole building's aware of, and so I'm a little bit worried about that.
No Colton Miller and likely no Brock Bowers again this week.
That's a yikes factory, dude.
Yep.
Yikes bikes, man.
2 of the best players.
Jeffrey fucking Simmons. Get to know him.
Perhaps a couple guys potentially for sale in Vegas as well.
Yeah.
Jacoby Myers. Myers requested a trade before the season. Didn't give him a deal. Why not just trade him now?
I don't.
What about Malcolm Kuntz?
You need to be better to request a trade, respectfully.
I don't know, man. I've done it when I wasn't a great
Jacoby
player.
Myers?
Yeah, Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby Myers
Yeah,
starts for the Commanders right now.
Yeah, he
Jacoby
probably does. He's not a
That's a
bad
good
player
piece
at
for
all.
them.
No.
But
Jacoby Myers?
I mean, teams need a fucking receiver sometimes, dog. You know, like look what Wash Cooper did for Cooper retired this year, and a year ago, like he elevated the Bills' offense just by being out there, just by having another guy.
That's Amari Cooper.
And that,
I know, but he was washed.
for what
Amari
it's
Cooper.
worth,
Retired
This
Amari.
is
For what it's
washed
worth, the trade
Jacoby
request.
Myers.
I don't know that he's washed all the way. Like, go ahead.
the trade request was also in response to him not getting a new deal from them. Like he wanted a new deal.
Yeah, they want to give him a deal.
I know you're a big honor the contract guy.
I am.
Yeah.
Macon,
I
but,
love contracts and all.
Loves
I
contracts.
love contracts.
No, but Max Crosby is he trade like what would it take?
couple high level assets, but if there's a team that has some space enough cap space to do it, I think they're based in the DMV. And as an Eagles fan, God, I hope that
Yeah.
doesn't happen. But
What'd you say? What now?
Commies.
Oh man.
Oh,
that a team
wow.
based in the DMV.
Oh, you
Yeah.
said
I don't-
DMV. I heard DMB and I thought do not bet. I thought about the Raiders.
I thought Dave Matthews made
Yeah,
it.
no.
DMV, golly.
And now playing bass for Dave Matthews, man.
Max Crosby.
I could see that.
Me too.
Second
That's
act.
funny.
Max Crosby sings back up on Cortez. That'd be pretty hype.
That'd be dope. Yeah.
If he went to the Commanders, phew,
Yikes.
would you go to a game then?
No. because people would be so mad at me, but like people would get so mad at me if we went to the Commanders because I wouldn't hide the fact that I love Jaden Daniels and Max Crosby.
Yeah.
Like I'm like a fan of those two players. I think the Eagles don't have the space for Max Crosby, do they? That's the shame of it. You know, because he would just fit so fucking well. They would love him. They would love him. Cap space, NFL cap space. Let's be
There's cap space.
Max-
There's
Max-
cap space in Detroit.
Is there in Jacksonville?
yeah, he is, and he's a Michigan guy. We talked about this last year when
Brad Holmes.
they needed a rusher.
Two white bookends?
The Cowboys, man, the
32nd.
fucking Cowboys, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but like the Cowboys got a fuck ton of cap space. They did just send
Micah
an ace
Parsons.
pass rusher somewhere. They're all of a sudden decent.
And what did Jerry say?
He would move those Green Bay first rounders.
Man, if he turned the Green Bay first rounders into
It's Max Crosby.
yeah,
Hey, everyone
he'd be
would
like this.
Middle
I'd be like,
fingers
you got
up
it,
to
big dog. You got it, big
everybody."
dog.
Wow, if he did do that, Jerry, if you're watching this, do that, please.
Golly, don't do that.
Do that. Make it interesting.
Yeah.
Dog, the Bucks don't have the space, do they? 17 million cap space.
No, 17.
Tom Brady's not signing
There's always
off.
wa-
Tom
there's always
Brady's not
ways to
signing
create
off getting rid of
space.
Max.
No, yeah, the cap's not real.
I'm just saying, like akin to like in a player trade, player for player.
Yeah,
can
you
shed
can
some
dump
work too,
some
so-
salary.
or you can rework his deal to give him cash now and spread the cap hits over
Yeah.
later years. So
877 cash now.
Did we mention the 49ers yet? They're fifth.
Yeah, the Niners are like a shoe in. They should be looking at Max.
Yeah, oh,
Crosby.
yeah.
They should be calling about Max Crosby.
Yeah.
that's a lot of money in that room, though. Once you get Bosa back,
No, I know. That's
Yeah,
the
true
problem. Might feel like racism too. Playing against that front.
Wow, that's
Like,
funny.
golly, damn, dude. Tone it down, fellas. Sunday Night Football is going to be awesome.
Detroit at Kansas City.
I can't wait for that, dude. Like, there's going to be a real buzz in the air. These two teams are fucking great. We'll start with the Lions, man. You know, well, I hate to like talk about the Chiefs in relation to the Lions, but one of the biggest concerns coming out of that game the other night is like the secondary, like how Spags is rotating his players. I think we talked about it a little bit earlier with like the usage of Chamari Connor, you know, the usage of Noel Williams, the rookie. You know, like Spags kind of does this sometimes where he fucks with the combinations to the point sometimes where it's hard to figure out like who he's got back there, like week to week as you're studying. So the matchups could play out any kind of way. I think St. Brown and McDuffie would be a lot of fun if we saw it. Somebody else has to get involved for you. I'm not saying you can't go to St. Brown, but somebody else has to have a big game like JMO. This is like a JMO spot. You know, the battle is the Lions running the ball up the Chiefs' asses. I mean, that to me is there's not a lot to like in this matchup if you're the Chiefs defense other than like finding a way to create pressure, which Spags does. He did the last time they played each other. Nolan pulled the blitz numbers. Spags blitzed 40% of the time the last time they played and pressured a lot of five-man pressures in the first half, and then the second half turned up the heat. Now the deal was in that game, you remember that was the infamous Chris Jones sitting between two Italian men in like the shadows of Arrowhead. That was hilarious. Him and the fucking his agent. That was one of the funniest all time. Like, oh, there's Chris Jones. I don't know, man. Like, this is just, if you're the Chiefs defense, this is a tough matchup. I don't care how you slice it. I also think it's a really tough matchup for the Lions defense. Like, I think this has got points written all over it. Gave the over out. You know, so middle pressure for me is if I'm Spags, I'm going to test. And Nolan, you mentioned that they got young guys on the interior. They played really well. Tate Ratledge has been great. You know, you got a new guy at center in Glasgow who obviously is replacing Ragnow there. And this interior you got Mahogany. They've played better as the year's gone on, and they've been a strength. Like, honestly, like at the beginning of the season, we were worried if they'd be a weakness, they're a strength. You know, maybe not to the same degree as last year's group, but I think Tate Ratledge is in pass pro as good as anybody they've had playing guard. So if I'm Spags, I want to take the temperature on that whole thing. I want to take the temperature on how they sort stuff. I want to take the temperature on how they deal with pressure. You know, and obviously you can try to get home and create some negatives that way. But the run game is going to be a big problem for the Chiefs. And the Chiefs can't rush the passer. And I know they got pressure the other night and the whole thing, but they got to manufacture it when they do. And so, like, if you get in a situation where, you know, you're getting picked apart in the blitz or what have you, you got to depend on guys. And this is Dan Orlovsky. He probably got this from that guy Hembo. I like our Nolan. Pass rush win rate by year. And I told you this before the season. My assessment of the Chiefs was this: the offense is going to be scary by the middle of the year, because the offensive line is as good as it's been the last 2-3 years. But the defense on this team might be their Achilles heel. As funny as that is to say, 2022 pass rush win rate, 5th in the league, 23 11th, 24 19th, 25 23rd. So it just keeps ticking down. And so, you know, you want to talk about a unit that, like, I'm kind of got my eyes on, microscope, is going to be that pass rush unit for the Chiefs. Now, Karlaftis has like 31 pressures, and he's a good player. Karlaftis is a good player.
Have a good year.
He also plays in Chris Jones's neighborhood. That's like it's a really good neighborhood to live in. You know what I'm saying? Property value goes up, everything. Like, you know, like life is good. You get more pressures. But guys have to win rushes for him. And so, you know, like that's what I look at on that side of the football is like, if you can find a way to survive in the run game, and maybe you got to throw a lot of bodies at them, but what makes you nervous is they do have like a vertical threat just like you in Jamison Williams. And you've got Tesla who who can go up and win a 50-50 ball. Like, sure, like even if you stay away from St. Brown, you've got other options. You've got multiple backs out of the backfield. I don't see how the Chiefs shut this offense down. I do, though, see how the Chiefs move the ball in this defense. And that's why I think this is a high-scoring game. I said this the other day, and I'll say it for the 15th time, second time this podcast. The Chiefs are going to be fucking frightening when they get everybody back on offense. Like, you can see it already with Worthy. Like, teams have to respect the vertical element, okay? The trickle-down effect of that is the run game's better. Your screen game on early downs is a lot more precise. There's more space to work with. I think that's one thing this week that they're going to do, especially with Terry and Arnold out for a while. DJ Reid on IR, who's like a great all-around player, great tackler, great burst to the football. Like, you're going to miss that guy. And, like you're talking about available corners being Amik Robertson, Rock Yassin, Avonte Maddox. They just signed Arthur Millette to the P squad. This is a deal where on early downs, like, you can get the ball out on the perimeter, break tackles, you're going to have a really good day. Defense is a question mark, but this Kansas City offense in the near future is going to look as good as it's looked in 4 years. Since the Tyreek Hill, and the big part of this is, and people are just starting to catch up to this thing, and I told you this in the preseason, Josh Simmons is a fucking stud. Okay, this is from Jesse Newell. Josh Simmons has allowed a 5.7% pressure rate through 5 weeks, the fifth lowest among left tackles with at least 50 pass blocks, and second lowest by a rookie left tackle since 2018. From 2023 to 2024, Chiefs left tackles allowed a combined 12.1% pressure rate. That immediately makes Mahomes dangerous again. Then, so through the first couple games, you see, oh, well, fuck, dude, like, nobody's getting open. They suck. Well, they don't have their vertical element. They don't have their early down screen guy, their number one possession receiver. They get him back. You can already see that kid 24. I keep forgetting his damn name.
Brashard Smith.
Dude, that guy's a fucking weapon. By the end of the season, you're going to be pulling your hair out dealing with that guy. And if they make a trade for one more player, and Kingsley's been fine at guard. Like, to me,
yeah,
he's been fine, dude. So I'll just say it one more time. This offense is going to be frightening. And I think they'll be able to make plays Sunday night. Lions pressure rate 6th in the NFL since week 2. Aleem McNeil's coming back, so reinforcements are coming back. They got to block Aiden Hutchinson. That's going to be a motherfucker. But I think they can do it, and I think they can score. So this is going to be a hell of a football game. I actually like the Chiefs in this game. It's a good buy low spot for them. They're 2-3. People think, on Monday, if you watch casually, you think, oh, the Chiefs suck. No, the Chiefs are going to be pretty good.
If the Chiefs leave this game 2-4, are you still figuring that they'll be pretty good? Or
God, that is a quintessential Nate Collins question.
My bad.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, I still think they'll be good.
Because, like, you know how it is. It's just like one of those things. Every game they lose from here on out, everyone's going to panic.
They got one of the best couple quarterbacks on the planet who looks a lot more like the best quarterback on the planet when he's got the receivers outside. You got an experienced defensive coordinator, which makes me think they'll work to stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
You've got Andy Reid calling the plays, and you got the best offensive line he's thrown behind in the last 3 years. If they lose to Detroit, I'll be zero shocked.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit more surprised they lost to Jacksonville.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can explain why they did. I mean, like, Mahomes never gets fooled on shit like that. Devin Lloyd, it was a great call. It's a great call. Devin Lloyd being in the right place. James Harrison-esque return for a touchdown. But they just made too many fucking mistakes. Like, they're making mistakes on special teams. They're turning the football over, the 14-point swing that way, and they got some calls, too, the other night. I just feel like this is a matchup in a high-scoring game where they win it. And if they lose, they'll still go to the playoffs. I really do believe that.
Word.
If they're 2-4, and you can put me on like a freezing cold takes or whatever it is, even if they lose 2-4, I still think they go to the playoffs.
That AFC wild card is still wide open right now. So
I simped for the Chiefs when they were a lot worse than this.
Yeah.
Do I think that they can win the whole thing? Obviously, like, I guess I should soften on the stance that I just don't see it. The defense is good enough that if they're scoring 30 points a game, they can make a run. I want people to understand how much better they're going to be offensively by the end of the year. Like, you're going to be like, oh, fuck, that's what it looks like again? Like, that's what Mahomes looks like? We forgot what, like, Mahomes could look like.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If you're Spags, how do you kind of get a guy like Chris Jones just to, hey, we see what everyone's talking about, forget those plays. How do you get a guy like that mentally ready that maybe if you're seeing or hearing all the outside noise this week and people asking you, like, why are you loafing? Like, look at this.
Yeah.
How do you get ready for this game?
Dude, I think it's like past the point of, if that was a loaf, which it was.
Yeah.
Okay, like, because there were some people that said, hey, you know, like, maybe they let him score.
Down.
Maybe they let him score. Or they thought he was down.
Yeah.
I tried to put myself in his position. I just
It's
and
hard.
I said this. He's 100 times better player than me, but you wouldn't catch me dead doing that.
Yep.
And at this point, like, why do you need a head coach to tell you, a guy who's been dominating this league for a decade, to run to the ball?
Yeah.
Like, that's a conversation shouldn't happen. If Chris Jones doesn't give great effort this weekend, like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, that's just embarrassing.
No, for sure.
And
But they need him.
they
And that's-
absolutely need him.
And that's, yeah. Like,
He's the whole thing.
regardless if it's that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're Spags, regardless if you feel that way or not, like, yo, like, I'm not coaching effort.
I guarantee you
like, I don't
Spags
need
walked
to,
up.
I don't need to coach effort. Like, you're the best player in this defense. Like, just do it. But, like, some guys you can't really say that to and not know if they're going to take it the right way, or you just might not.
Take it how you're going to take it, partner.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know, like,
Yep.
this is two instances at the end of games where Chris Jones was in the middle of the thing, and I gave him a lot of grace on the inside move against LA because he's trying to win.
Yeah.
Like, I got no problem with that mistake. Like, that mistake, yeah, I'd rather, you know, if you got man coverage behind you, you can't take that inside move against Justin Herbert to his ball hand side.
Mm-hmm.
This mistake it's a choice.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to make a choice. And he didn't have to. He didn't turn around and say, oh, you know, like, I take part in that. He was like, guys got to get that tackle. Like, I'm like, so I don't know, man. Just be Chris Jones, man. Go out there and be Chris Jones. I'm sure Spags came up to him and was like, hey, that's not up to our standard. You're better than that, which is the way Spags coaches.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I've been on that end of it, not with effort, but with my play, like, where it was like, you know, where he pulled me aside and was like, hey, you're better than that.
Word.
You know, and I think that's the way Spags will handle it. You know, and if you're a defensive line coach, you can cuss him out, but, like, there's also an opportunity. There's a chance that player says, like, who the fuck are you? I'm Chris Jones. Which that's why the head coach or the defensive coordinator needs to back him up.
Right.
The only other thing to show you how scary they've been is Kansas City had 9 third downs in that game on Monday night. 3 of them were self-inflicted wounds or end of game. 3rd and 24, 3rd and 16, 3rd and 10 after penalties. The other 6 were 5 3rd and 2s and a 3rd and 9. They are an early down nightmare right now with the way that they got their screen game going, the quick game going, the run game. And Kelvin Shepard, this is his big chance, man. You know, this is his big chance. Last year they won a lot of games and performed with guys down. They got guys down on defense in this game. I'm not making excuses for one side, but, like, the Lions do have some injuries. Like, this is his chance to go coach this team to a win. I mean, like, defense has to step up. That's what they did last year with guys off the street, the whole thing. This is his chance. And I thought he's done a great job so far. This is a huge test for him.
And one thing potentially working in Kelvin Shepard's favor, in case you didn't already mention this, Chris, major injury update from the Chiefs today. Xavier Worthy, after being a full participant yesterday, was a non-participant today.
Wow.
With those ankle and shoulder injuries.
Well, you know,
something to monitor.
Yeah, maybe hopefully they're giving him some rest. Yeah, that's a big deal. It's a big deal if he doesn't play. We'll see. But a great game Sunday night, and we're kind of in the era of, we're talking about golf. People are saying we need to have a conversation. They're putting up, like, Drew Brees stats next to golf stats and all this stuff. Like, no, you know, it would have been funny a couple years ago, like, but, like, he's played great. Like, it's weird because I don't know if he's a guy that I know some people are going to say, like, and I hate I'm trying to stay away from the classifying thing. I just think it's in today's media landscape we do it way too much. But with quarterbacks, it's almost inevitable. You know, like we don't usually put him on the Mount Rushmore of active quarterbacks, so to speak. We don't usually put him in the elite category, but his numbers are always fucking elite. Like he's always like the results are always elite. And so over time, like when you've done that in LA and now Detroit, like people are starting to talk about him and his legacy. He's a fucking stud, dude. And wins like this go a long way for your legacy. I mean, it's not a legacy defining win. There's going to be bigger games yet. There's going to be bigger games yet this season, but like going into Arrowhead with a chance to win this game, this will be a big one for him. That's the end of the road, guys. I don't really have much else to say. Bill Barnwell did say something very interesting. It's going to have me looking at totals here shortly. Barnwell said some dramatic schedule shifts coming up per FPIs and SOS. Cardinals have played the league's easiest schedule, third toughest from now on. Vikings have played the league's fourth easiest schedule, toughest from here on out. Commanders have played the league's eighth easiest schedule, fourth toughest moving forward. Ravens have played the league's second toughest schedule, 25th toughest from here on out. Eagles, league's toughest schedule, 11th toughest from now on. Are there any teams, my question is, that you should sell high or buy low before we finish, guys? Just off the top of your head.
As discussed, let the Ravens lose one more, 1-5.
Right.
To win the division at something like plus 175. It gets Charmin soft in theory with Lamar Jackson and Isaiah Likely coming back, among others.
I think the Texans are a buy low team.
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, it's my confirmation bias. I thought they were a good football team coming in. If they buy at the deadline and you know, like, because in a young season, every loss feels huge. We've only played fucking 5 games.
5 games.
And that's why all of a sudden, like a team, like at this point, you could go from being 1-3 to a game away from 500. You know, like they're just things change so quickly. The offense is starting to figure it out a little bit, like they did just play the Ravens on topic. But the O-line's improving a little bit. The defense is always so fucking good on that team that you just feel like if they could just score 5 more points a game.
Plus 47 point differential.
When's Mixon supposed to come back?
That's wild. A mystery, dude.
Yeah, because that's when I might start worrying about the Texans, is if they get Mixon.
Yeah, but what if they go trade for somebody who's pretty good?
Put Breece Hall on that roster.
Yeah, you put Breece Hall on that roster. It's a lot of fun.
I just love the way Mixon looks in that offense, and I just feel like C.J. Stroud is really comfortable with him.
No question.
And like that run that they did, like that would scare me if they like just woke up and it like
Who's
that.
to say you can't use both?
No, for sure. I hear you. You know?
Hey, buddy. Texans are at Seahawks, home Niners, home Broncos.
It's gonna get ugly.
Home Jags.
We love to hear
Home
that
Bills.
as Jaguars.
They can win a
fans.
couple of those games.
Okay.
Win a couple of those games. You want to keep going?
Did Barnwell, the Texans were in there as having an easier one?
No, they didn't say that.
Okay.
This is just me.
Okay. I'm with you. Just the schedule doesn't seem.
Schedule doesn't do them any favors. But some of those teams you just mentioned might be some sell-high teams. Not gonna say which ones.
Jags.
No, I just spent a whole fucking
show
sweating my ass off in a Trevor Lawrence mask. Or, wig.
Duval.
All right, y'all.